Shalom, welcome to Challenging Torah. We are in the Parsha of Mishpatim. Mishpatim always feels to me like coming home from a spirituality retreat. I'm calm. I'm connected to the Holy One. I'm in my best spiritual space. I open the door and there are the dishes from the entire weekend. Not only that, the human beings that I have a relationship with, they're still there. And those relationships are still there. And my work is waiting. And my life is still happening. And what happened to this calm Institute for Jewish Spirituality that I had going? Where's my shalom? That's kind of how Mishpatim feels. Here we are at the heights of Sinai, the clouds and the glory, and each one heard the sounds and saw the voices, and it's been an amazing experience. And turn the page. These are the rules. Ele HaMishpatim. We are grounded. And so quickly. So as we look at Mishpatim, I am again turning to our process of Musar of the year that we are doing together with the Institute for Jewish Spirituality. And once again I quote Dr. Alan Marinis, this time from a different book called Climbing Jacob's Ladder, his first. And Dr. Marinis reminds us in the chapter of, he divides the book into gates, in the chapter of the gates of the working world, he quotes his teacher, who is quoting Israel Salanter, the founder of the Musar movement, in saying, the foundation of the state of perfection is in matters that are between man and his neighbor. It's all human being to human being. And as Dr. Marinis' teacher said, I used to be very into the mystical, but now I realize that the mystical, the mystery, is really all around me. And it is in our relationships between each other, and as we spoke last week, between human beings and the divine. Well, how do we get there? If we are to be a kingdom of priests and a holy nation, and that is our charge, how do we do this? And immediately Mishpatim are the laws, the rules, and as we say, holiness and the devil is in the details. And so quickly we turn the page and we have a long list of rules, beginning with a slave who wants to stay with you, so you put a hole in his ear. Totally, we don't understand that. What are they doing with slaves, even? Another topic. Two places that say, if your neighbor loses his ox, you have to bring it back to him. To if your enemy has an ox that has fallen, you need to pick him up. Don't even think about charging usury to your kinsman. Then we continue further on. More dealings with human beings. You must not carry false rumors. Don't be a malicious witness. Neither side with the mighty, nor side with the poor in a dispute, but go for justice. Do not oppress the stranger, for you were strangers in the strange land. You were strangers in the land of Egypt. That one is repeated over 32 times. Ele HaMishpatim. These are the directions. These are the rules. These are how we move ourselves from a state of exalted oneness to a state of, this is what we do in everyday life. We need a guidebook. We can't trust that my gut tells me what is really moral, because our gut hasn't done so well with this planet, has it? In fact, God destroyed the first planet, or tried, in the moment of Noah, and we're told there are many worlds before us where gut didn't quite work. We need the rules, and that's what we stood at Sinai to receive. And we receive by saying, once again in this chapter, Na'aseh v'nishma, we will do it, and then we're going to understand what those rules really are. Because in the unfolding of the rules is where we find the holy. And so there's a roller coaster factor in this Mishpatim Torah portion as well. We begin at the top, we go down to the nitty-gritty details of how you are to treat one another. We go, at the end of the portion, it rises as Moses again goes up the mountain to receive these rules on a tablet written, they say, with the finger of God, mechukak, engraved. And Moses does not go up alone. He goes to the middle of the mountain with 70 elders, Nadav and Avihu, Joshua. There's 74 people all together who, the Torah says, they gazed and saw the likeness of God as a sapphire pavement beneath God's throne. Remember, it's an as if. It is still a metaphor. And they don't see God's face. Because where do you see God's face? You see it in the details of the life that you lead day to day. There is no place, we are told, without God's glory. And we see it in every one of our human-to-human actions and God-to-human actions. God brings us this universe filled with beauty, filled with an abundance that if we take care of this planet, we are able to reap. And we bless our food and say, blessed are you, God, who brings forth bread from the earth together with my work, who brings the fruit of the tree. As we give those blessings, we release the holiness into the world. It's a very simple, down-to-earth task, because all actions are holy. We are commanded to pick up the neighbor's ox, even if we don't like him. And we're commanded actually to keep Shabbat, because Shabbat is the moment when we breathe and have the moment to realize that in these everyday details of the Mishpatim, of the rules of our life, we bring the essence of holiness into the world. The revelation of God's holiness is through us. See you on Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.